What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and yes, I know this is the morning after yesterday's Phillies game and their win over the New York Mets by a score of 3-0, but I wasn't home yesterday. I was down the shore, so I really wasn't able to get a video out there because I got home very late and I passed out. So, might as well do the video recap this morning just so I can get it out for you guys. Man, I also caught the highlights a little bit too. I was sitting near the beach, watching on the NBC Sports app, watching the stream, and man, Zack Wheeler was perfection. Perfection, absolute perfection out on the mound. And especially in the day, too, when they're honoring Roy Halladay, the Doc, retiring his number, putting him up on the brick wall, putting that statue out in left field. Man, it just gives me goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. That's how good he was. That's how dominant he was. And Joe Girardi, even in his press conference, stated that it just felt like that Roy Halladay had his hand on Zack Wheeler today. Man, that outing was special. If you look at Zack Wheeler's stat line for yesterday's ball game, complete game, 9 innings, only allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts. The fastball, 98-99, striking out guys like Pete Alonso, J.D. Davis, Dom Smith. The off-speed pitches, getting people off balanced. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Man, I just can't I just can't stop thinking about it. He only had 108 pitches. He was so dominant. He is so good. And he dropped his ERA down to 2.42. And the Phillies sweep the New York Mets. And right now we're just happy. We are just happy. And also Zack Wheeler during this ball game, he retired 22 consecutive batters after the first hit was allowed. And I think it was Brandon Nimmo got the first hit of the ball game. And then he retired 22 straight after that. And I forget who was the person that put that stat out there. I think it was either Jason Stark or Matt Gilb. But he's the first Phillies pitcher to retire 22 consecutive batters in a ball game since May 29th of 2010. And what day was that? That was when Roy Halladay threw his perfect game against the Florida Marlins. Just think about that. That gives me goosebumps just thinking about that. Just everything today. You always get those special moments in sports. This is one of those special moments as well. It's just absolutely fantastic. And the home run ball today for the Phillies, major factor. Gene Segura, JT Realmuto, both hitting home runs in the first inning. And then Bryce Harper going deep, showing his power to the opposite field, making it 3-0. Man. And you also got Zack Wheeler making some plays in the field as well, just a ground ball, just reaching up for his hand. It's funny too. Once I saw that play happen, I was just like, even though he was locked in before this play happened, I was like, yeah, he's really locked in. He's doing this. He's sprawling out to make plays. Zack Wheeler is locked in. And going back to the home runs too, Gene Segura, after that home bomb that he hit, just holding the bat, going up the first baseline. When he saw it go out, he drops the bat down, celebrates, goes, let's go, to the dugout. Man, just this team right now is super energized. They're playing as a team. They believe in themselves, and it's so amazing. And you got JT Realmuto going opposite field on the first pitch from Taijuan Walker. Just barely squeaks over the wall. And oh man, it's just, I can't stop getting excited. I just can't. I just cannot, because you win your 8th straight game. You swept the Nationals, and you swept the Mets. So if you look at the standings right now, the Phillies are in first place, which I really like to hear. You're 59-53. You're 6 games above 500. You are 2 games ahead of the Atlanta Braves, who are now in second place. They are 57-55, and they did win their game yesterday versus the Washington Nationals. So if they lost, it probably would have been 2.5 games back, but now they are 2 games back. And they're on a little bit of a winning stretch, too. They've won 7 out of their last 10 games. So the Braves are definitely getting a lot better. So they're not going to go away in this division. The Mets, they're in third place. They're 56-55. They're 2.5 games back of the Phillies. In their last 10, they are 2-8. And they're starting to drift off a little bit. But even though I do believe the Mets are going to be there until the very end, cold streaks eventually do end. Even though the Mets, they're one of the worst offensive teams in the league. I think they're ranked 29th in the league for team offense or runs scored per game. So, yeah, their pitching is only going to get them so far, especially when you have guys like Jacob deGrom that's probably not going to be back until September. So right now, like I said, the Mets are still going to be in there to begin with, but they're probably going to be one of the teams probably on the outside looking in compared to... It's still going to be a top 3 race. I'm not saying the Phillies are running away with this damn thing. No, they're not. That's not going to happen. Eventually, the Phillies are going to go on a little bit of a cold streak. They're eventually going to lose a game. That's just the status of a 162-game season. That's what's going to happen. We should expect that. When the Phillies do eventually lose their next game, let's not go crazy. Let's not overreact. They're going to lose, especially in this stretch that's coming up when you're facing the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you have Max Scherzer on the mound going Tuesday up against Aaron Nola. And you've seen Max Scherzer so many times this year with the Nationals, and he has been dominant against you this year. So I'm not saying they're going to lose, but just they eventually are going to lose a game. So I don't want people overreacting to a loss. The thing is, if you do lose, you just shake it off. You find ways. You believe in yourselves. Go back and win the very next game, because this is definitely going to be a tough stretch for this team. You got the Dodgers for 3 straight games, and then you got the Reds for 3 straight games. And if you look at the rest of the schedule, you do have sort of I would say a trap series in the midweek of next week. You have a 3-game set versus the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they are not that good of a team. So it's like going up against the Washington Nationals. Those series are trap series. You have to try to find ways to win those. You can't lose those series. It's also the same thing going up against the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's a trap series. You can't lose to one of the worst teams in baseball. The Diamondbacks are one of the worst teams in baseball. Sorry for my voice crack there. But still, you got a 3-game set against the Diamondbacks, and then that following weekend after Arizona, you go to San Diego versus a really good team in the San Diego Padres. And then the rest of the month, you'll have 2 games against the Tampa Bay Rays, so that's really going to be a tough stretch for this team as well, because you're going up against 2 tough teams in a row, the Padres and the Rays. And then you're back for another trap series, which is a 4-game set at home against the Diamondbacks, and then you'll have another 3-game set against the Washington Nationals going into September. So even though the Phillies do have one of the more easier schedules in the league, these next few series are going to be very tough for this team. Dodgers, Reds, Diamondbacks, Rays, Padres, all those teams. This team is going to showcase what they are in these next upcoming series. And like I said, they are going to lose a game eventually. They're not going to go on this obscure winning streak, winning 20 games in a row like the Athletics did so many years ago. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, it's going to be a really tough stretch for this team, but still, I'm very excited for what this team is doing. They're playing really good baseball, even though still defensively they're still kind of iffy, but they're playing as a team. The bullpen has been coming up clutch for them, even though, I know on Saturday in the 9th inning it was a little bit of a fiasco there. But, yeah, it's been very, I guess, relieving to see some good baseball. Even though I was one of those people that said the Phillies needed to sell at the deadline just because of how bad they were playing at that point, and especially coming after the deadline where you lose 2 games to the Pittsburgh Pirates, playing probably some of the worst baseball I've ever seen, and then you end that off winning 8 straight games. You win that last game of the series, you sweep the Nationals, you sweep the Mets, and now you have a major hot streak going up against one of the better teams in the league, so maybe that benefits you. But like I said, they are eventually going to lose a game. So I guess that's where I stand there. If you look at this series against the Los Angeles Dodgers, like I said, you have Max Scherzer going on the mound tomorrow up against Aaron Nola, and hopefully Nola can just find a way to get this team in a good position to win tomorrow. Hopefully the offense can pick up for him too. And then for Wednesday's game, you're going to have David Price going up against Kyle Gibson. David Price is 4-1 on the season, 3.53 ERA. And then you're going up against Kyle Gibson, who has been very solid for the Phillies in his first 2 appearances. And then Thursday's game, both starters are to be determined, because that's probably when Chase Anderson was supposed to start for this team. But since he is injured, I'm assuming the Phillies are either going to go with a bullpen game. They're either going to Matt Moore, Vince Velasquez. You don't know. I have no idea. And then I would expect going up against the Cincinnati Reds, that's when you're probably going to have a Ranger Suarez on the mound, and then a Zack Wheeler on the mound, and then another Aaron Nola game. That's what I'm going to expect there. So, like I said, very tough schedule ahead. And before I do end off this video, I do want to talk a little bit more about Bryce Harper, because of the way he's been playing lately. He has been absolutely phenomenal. Even though yesterday he was a little bit kept quiet against the Mets, but Bryce Harper got his average back above 302, and he's been absolutely spectacular this season. Just so good. He has a 302 average, 20 home runs, 45 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, a point, I don't know why I can't say that, a .8983 OPS. And just, man, if you look, I'm trying to get the rest of the stats for him. He's been insanely good this year. His slugging percentage this year, he's at a .570 OPS, a .983. Just, he's been really, really good this year. All of his advanced metrics are probably some of the tops in the league, and he is really showcasing that he could possibly be a finalist for the National League MVP this year. And especially, too, this kind of benefits him because you don't know when Fernando Tatis Jr. is coming back from the Padres. We don't know how the extent of his injury and how much longer he's going to be kept out for. And also, a player like Ronald Acuna Jr., sadly, he got taken out for the rest of the season with his torn ACL because he was probably going to be one of those top guys for the NL MVP. But with the way Bryce Harper has been playing, he has a really good chance to win the MVP this year if he keeps it up going through the rest of the season. Man, if that happens, man. And also for Zack Wheeler, at this point, he has to be one of the favorites to win the Cy Young too. Imagine you have an MVP finalist and also a Cy Young candidate going into this year when no one really expected that. No one really expected this team to make the playoffs. They're going to be in the race till the final edge. And now you possibly have a chance for an MVP finalist and also a Cy Young finalist. Man, oh man, oh man. And I also think Zack Wheeler, he leads the league in strikeouts and he also leads the league in innings pitched. So he has a really good case. A really, really, really good case. And also, I guess it could benefit him that Jacob deGrom is not playing for the Mets. He's going to be out until September. So there you go. But yeah. It's just relieving to see good baseball for once in a while. It's really good. It's really relieving. So let's see where this takes the Phillies. Let's see it. And I'm very excited to watch it. I am definitely going to be very excited, especially to see more of Zack Wheeler starts, more of Bryce Harper, just more of this team play. I can't believe I'm saying that. I know last week I was saying, I don't want to believe. I don't want to get drawn into the hope. I don't want to get drawn in. I'm drawn in, and I'm excited. I can't be any more happier. So that's going to do it for this video, everyone. What are your thoughts on the game yesterday, Zack Wheeler's performance, everything, Bryce Harper, MVP status, Zack Wheeler, Cy Young, everything in those comment sections below. I would love to hear your thoughts as always. So don't forget to leave those down there. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Panda Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to Broads Media, the Florida Pod merch website, and also for Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is in the description below. And the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. Definitely come here and support the channel. Grow it as much as possible. I would very much appreciate it. And I will see you next time.